AWE S-FLO intake for the 2024 Mustang GT and Dark Horse. Beautiful carbon fiber construction, massive 5-inch inlets, massive green filters on either side, and it looks spectacular under the hood with that carbon fiber construction. Big shout out to AWE for working with me on this project. Not only excited to show you the final product, but also to share the results. I got this thing on the dyno. I have before and after comparisons, and I'll be honest, I was actually a little surprised for a known tube required intake to see these kinds of gains. Very impressive. So first, I'll show you what it looks like, finished product on the car. Then I'll walk you through a quick overview of the installation, show you the dyno pulls. Big shout out to Dan over at Pro Dyno for making this happen, getting the car on the rollers, and ultimately the dyno results. I have 4 runs here I'd like to share, and we'll go from there.
All right, check this out in the sunlight. Absolutely stunning. That matte carbon finish matches the engine cover really, really well. AWE S-FLO intake with those green filters. I will say that those are AWE actual private label filters. Those are beautiful, not just white label filters they picked up from someone who does engine filters. So they did their homework. The fitment was absolutely great. The packing was beautiful. Actually a ton of packing material, but obviously to make sure that everything arrived safely. Installation was very easy. I probably installed, I don't know, 8 to 10 intakes over the course of my Mustang career, maybe a little bit more than that. But the point is, I really didn't need directions. I glanced at them to make sure I was doing it correctly, but it was very, very straightforward. You could tell the engineering department did their job on this. So all that said, really, really like the finish, really, really like the results, and we'll see how it does on track.
All right, first thing I do is go ahead and loosen up all the bolts, the 2 10 millimeters on the front of the lids, and then along the back side of each airbox. Set those aside, should be 4 bolts total. Then after that, grab a 7 millimeter socket, loosen up each of the clamps around the throttle bodies, pop the lids off, set them aside. At that point, you already have your connections loose on each tube. You can pull each air intake tube out, as long as the PCV is pulled out and the mass airflow is pulled out and all that good stuff. Then at that point, you're ready for your air boxes. Again, as long as you have those bolts pulled out, it's pretty easy. Maneuver it out around the fuse box. It's a little tight in there. Keep in mind that the ducting from the front grille will come out with the air box. Now we're moving on to the AWE S-FLO intake installation. So I have the box together on the right-hand side. You can see the weather stripping along the top, and I also have the seal along the inside. That way there's no rubbing against the carbon fiber and the intake tube. I already have the mass airflow switched over with the proper hardware that AWE included in the installation or in the kit. You're going to want to put the filter in the box first and then slide the tube in from the outside. They include a nice adapter there that you can switch sleeves if you get upgraded throttle bodies with larger inlets. Go ahead and tighten those down to the throttle bodies. Be cognizant of how tight that clamp is if you're using a power tool. Same thing with the carbon fiber. You pull the ducting off the factory airbox and slide that on the AWE airbox. Same thing with the grommet. Slide that in. Make sure it slides into the back of the grill where the factory airbox was. That way you get all the benefits of the ram air effect coming in from the front grill. Once you have the airbox in place, you can put the air tube in place. Go ahead and tighten the clamp on the filter around the intake tube. Again, it's carbon fiber. Please be careful how much you tighten the clamp around the carbon fiber. I'd say I go about 80% with the power tool and then check by hand later. I have my oil separator there from Ford Performance. You go ahead and plug that in. Same with the mass airflow. Switch on to the passenger side. Get the clamp just started. That way it kind of stays on the filter, doesn't fall off. Slide the filter in the airbox. Again, I've already done the weather stripping and the seal. This is an open element intake, so it does seal against the hood when the hood's shut. I did pop the relay off the front of the fuse box to allow me enough room to get this larger air box into place. Once that relay was off, it was relatively easy to get into place. Again, I already have the ducting from the factory airbox attached to the front of the AWE airbox. That is slid into place. You can see my phone there using the light to make sure it's actually properly sealed. There it is, slides into place. Air tube goes into the silicone sleeve for the throttle body. Go ahead and start tightening things up. PCV goes into place, mass airflow goes into place. At that point, we're pretty much done. Checking connections, cleaning up tools, and now your AWE S-FLO intake is installed. Okay, I got the car on the rollers with Dan at Pro Dyno. Couple things to go over about how we ran these pulls before we actually show the dyno pulls. First things first, there were different dates between these runs. I couldn't do all the modifications at once on the same day, but it's the same dyno at the same location with the same correction factor, with the same car. It's about as close as you can get without doing everything on the exact same day. And even at that, I'm sure you guys will rip it apart in the comments and find some sort of discrepancy between the runs. At the end of the day, this is food for thought, just gathering data to share. And frankly, I'm pretty impressed with the results. So let's show you those dyno pulls. All right, this is it. The 4 dyno pulls I'd like to share. We're going to break this down from top to bottom. I will note that the Tremec and the Dark Horse, it is a manual transmission car. No tune, 93 octane on all of these runs. 4th gear pulls, pretty straightforward, honestly. So the first one is the red curve. That's a 432 horsepower run, 389 pound-feet of torque. The car was bone stock for that run, had about 7,000 miles on it at the time. Again, relatively respectable given the other numbers we were seeing when those stock Dark Horses and stock GTs were being dyno pulled in, I guess, early 2024, late 2023. So I was pretty happy with those numbers. Then we threw the AWE SwitchPath Catback on the car. So pulled the factory Catback off, put the AWE SwitchPath on, no other changes to the car, and the car made about 3.2 horsepower more and 389 pound-feet of torque. This is the blue curve on both the top and bottom graphs. Honestly, torque stayed about the same throughout the whole deal, all 4 runs, but the horsepower is where we were seeing those gains. 3 horsepower is honestly more of a testament to the factory system. I remember back in the day, like my 2011 GT, when I was swapping out exhaust, swapping out headers and manifolds and cats and resonator deletes and anything and everything to get as much horsepower as I possibly could out of that car. From back then, which was 15 years ago, wow, dating myself a bit, 15 years ago to now, the factory system is like crazy efficient to switch everything over to 3 inches, straight through style resonator on the AWE SwitchPath with that 180 technology and the mufflers. With the valves open, it's pretty much straight through those back mufflers, plus the 3 inches. It's incredibly impressive to see only a 3 horsepower gain after making all those changes to just a Catback. So props to Ford on that. Got another 3 horsepower out of the Catback from AWE, which obviously I was happy about. But then here's where the crazy gains come in. The catback stayed on the car throughout the rest of the runs, so that never came off and went back to stock. But we went from 435 to 445 with the AWE S-FLO intake. This was crazy. They claimed 15 horsepower increase, 15 pound-feet of torque. I can't say I saw the torque differences, but we did see some differences in the horsepower. So the green curve is 445.6 horsepower, max at 6,970 RPM, with 390 pound-feet of torque. This is with the hood open. One thing to note is that these intakes are an open element, meaning that they seal against the hood when you close the hood. So running these on the dyno, it is something to take into account when you have factory intake that has closed lids naturally. When you have whether you have the hood open or closed is not really a huge difference, but when you open up the hood on an open element intake, it does kind of make things favor towards that open element. So I wanted to make sure to do these pulls with Dan at Pro Dyno, both open and closed hood. So the green curve is with the open hood, 445 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque. Then we let the car cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes, closed the hood, let it sit another couple minutes. So imagine there's some heat radiating in there. They sealed against the hood, right? I have that weather stripping on top of the cold air intake boxes that seals against the hood. Then we ran it again, and it made 450 horsepower. I'm super surprised. Dan was super surprised. Not necessarily on AWE, just the fact that it's a 93 octane factory tuned stick car making with an intake and a catback. Still have the factory manifolds, still have the factory cats, just an intake and a catback, and it's making 450 horsepower. That's huge props to AWE for developing and engineering an intake that increases power by 15. 15 horsepower, closed hood, with no tune. And for years and years and years, you guys know I've been a Mustang guy my entire life, and pretty much all of my career. And years, I would say, make sure when you get a cold air intake, you get a tune to go along with it so you can get the most out of your intake. I'm not saying there isn't more on the table if I were to get a tune. I'm sure there would be, especially with how large those intake tubes are. But to get 15 horsepower out of a Gen 4 Coyote with no tune required intake, super impressive. So 450 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. Super proud to say that this is a 450 wheel horsepower car on factory tune, 93 octane, nothing done to the manifolds or cats. Super, super impressive with AWE on the intake side and AWE on the exhaust side. Again, huge shout out to AWE. Thank you so much for making this possible. If you want to stay tuned, please do subscribe, like, comment. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is crazy? Because I kind of do, honestly. I'll let you guys know how it performs on track. There's a little bit more induction noise under the hood when you kind of punch it in the car. But other than that, it just feels like it's got more grunt. The bottom part of this graph's kind of covering up the torque curve a little bit with the max values. But you can see between, call it 3,000 and 4,000 RPM, there are some sizable differences behind that box there you could see in torque. So that's that mid-range kind of seat of the pants feel from traffic light to traffic light as you're kind of rolling through the gears that you're going to feel. Obviously, peak horsepower is all at the top of the RPM band. A little bit tougher to feel that, but you definitely feel the torque in the seat of your pants, kind of cruising around town and kind of getting into it a little bit from gear to gear. All that said, a huge shout out to AWE and Dan with Pro Dyno. Thank you so much for to all you guys for making this happen. Excited to get this car out on track, get it out to some shows this year, and add some more parts. So stay tuned, hit me on the socials as well as YouTube, and we'll see you next time.